Mic test. Mic test. Mic test. Mic test. I very nearly canceled the stream because I'm very tired. But we're here. I think we're ready to roll though. Let's see. Oh yes. Stream Elements broken on this computer. I guess I have to re-verify. I'm not even gonna fucking worry about it. Let's go ahead and hit this button. Is this a flickering camera today? Let's see. Bring it in a little bit, maybe about right there. You gotta get your nose. All right. Looks like it's working.
Would you do a workout?
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.
All right, well, I was going to do an intro, but I guess I'm doing push-ups.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
Well, howdy, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Country Fried Minis. I'm your host, Cameron, the country boy in the big city, presenting once more from the Bullshit Corner 2.0. Today, we're going to paint on some models, do a little bit of camo work today. Going to get dug in. We're going to enjoy this 100th paint stream here on the channel, if y'all can believe it. There have been other painting streams that aren't officially paint streams, but this is the official 100th paint stream on the channel. I never expected this place to become a streaming platform, but here we are, and we exist, and we've gotten so much work done here. So many models, so many more yet to go to get painted up. Nothing but the heartiest humble thanks to all y'all who stop by and watch this silly stuff happen, who contribute to the content. It is pretty insane. Invasion of Seoul. Oh. Invasion of Seoul, yeah. This is the expansion. High Command. War Machine High Command, actually really good game. A little deck building game. Let's go ahead and mark down push-ups today. push-ups today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's our first set.
And a double helping of
Double
gravy.
helping of gravy indeed. Today we're gonna get stuck in on working on a happy little project for an upcoming video. I've been tapped by another creator to do the other half of a paint up. We're going to be painting Catalyst Assassins in Canopian Light Horse colors. I've been tasked with painting the second Canopian Light Horse, so we get to go in operational camo. And there's a camo scheme that I did for a commission that I really liked, and I want to give it another go. It's like a deserty, yellowy tan with kind of like a 30-degree angled wide green stripes on it. I think it's going to be really fun. So we're going to work on that today. We have a model in from the old eBay. So we're going to talk about cleaning up a Catalyst model as well. We're going to film all this, and we're going to try to get stuff done as quickly as possible. But I do need to cover these addresses. So we're going to put some lecherous titty lady stickers to cover them over before I put them on camera. So we're going to go with PUBG lady on top. She's going to cover this here address on top. And then this one's going to cover the other address on the front of the boss. That way, no identities are revealed during the work on this video. There we go. What's that? What's that? Holy
Another
moly.
Nate donated a
That's gonna be
$2
a
super
string.
chat. Happy hundo. Pancakes, chestnut brown, mushroom, waffle, fried shrimp, horse face, black cat face, black cat, skunk, shrimp, octopus, hamster, donkey, black cat,
Black cat. Black cat. Thank you, Mr. Nate, for the generous donation. Holy moly, thank you so much. Yes, indeed. 100 streams in. 100 paint streams. There have been many, many more, but 100. This is the 100th episode. I want some waffle fried shrimp horse. That sounds interesting, to say the least. Okay, so we're going to touch on today. Got something a little special for y'all. I'm going to try to finish this model today. I haven't been sleeping well, so I'm really, really tired. So we might call it early. If so, we'll be back tomorrow painting some more, whether it's a stream or whether it's a Discord hangout. We'll do one or the other. But what we're going to do today is we've got this awesome that I want to paint on. So it'll be a nice like secondary project to work on while layers are drying and whatnot. And we have these 3D printed, I can't remember what this is called. I think it's just dry earth bases by Mr. Crates over on Cults 3D. So we're going to talk about getting these ready. We're going to talk about popping a Catalyst model off its base. And we're going to talk about cleaning up a model with a hobby knife and acetone. And we're going to salute the sun. So, to get started, we'll dive into filming. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between the camera and the work, but we're going to get stuck in and we're going to do some really simple camo paint scheme that should be like pretty idiot proof and quite followable for even novice painters out there. I really want to make this super approachable, and we'll probably use some kind of speed paint to do it. I think, at least. Not really sure. We might just do base colors and then hit it with an ink wash. I think that might work as well. But to get started, We got gloves on today because my
Nathan donated a
fingernails are
$2 super chat.
not camera
Happy
worthy.
100 of something orangutan pig bacon taco pizza taco unicorn pinched fingers brown mushroom banana cucumber mushroom orangutan pinos.
Banana cucumber mushroom pinos. Banana cucumber mushroom is a pinos, is it not? Thank you as well, Nathan. Thank you so much for the generous donation. I'm telling y'all, it really does make all this possible. YouTube does payouts based on $100 earned in a month period, so it's really unbelievable that y'all make all this possible. Waffle fried shrimp sounds. There's potential there will require much time in the development kitchen. Is that like, what was that show? America's Test Kitchen? Okay. So we're going to run the pro video here. We'll zoom it out a little bit. We can move some of these things out of the way, but we're going to first show our box to the camera. And then we're going to show our big ass Bowie knife to the camera. And we're going to cut this box open, you know, in proper clunky, awkward fashion. Proper tool for the job, you know, not at all large and unwieldy. Now let's take a peek at how our seller packaged this thing for us. We have our Alpha Strike cards and whatnot. So we got our Assassin. I paid way too much for this, by the way. All the people who are selling these are charging so much for them. It's unreal. I did not back the Kickstarter, so I had to obtain mine secondhand, and I had to buy it at a scalper price. But as requested by my collaborator, we have our fancy little Catalyst CGL Assassin. It is a very nice sculpt, and it looks like the quality of our model isn't super bad. So we should have a pretty easy go of really cleaning this thing up. I'm okay with it. All right, so first things first, we do want to remove it from its base to do the oh, come on with this tape on the, there we go. We do want to remove it from its base and put it on our alternative base. Figure that's something that might be useful to show to the community, to show for the video. So we'll do that. Let's get all this set to auto. This is all set to auto. So to get it off the base, what we're going to need is a nice little...
Tobias Fonstellian donated a $4.49 super chat. Jegville Harpols Oxprostek Lockpig.
Jegville Harpols Oxprostek Look. Yes. Yes, indeed. All right, so we're just going to dig in here. We got our nice little hobby knife. This one's decently sharp still. It's not the best, but it's okay. And I recall someone asking about this recently, and we're just going to be really careful and make sure that our knife is not pointed towards our hands anywhere. And we're going to slide up under that foot, and we're just going to give it a cut till that knife pops right through. Just be real careful, because it can require a fair amount of force to get this done. So always watch where your fingies is. And we're going to get it up under that foot. We're going to pop it through. Now, I got this for later. We're going to hold on to this for a future project. But we do want to get our boy on this base here. And I think that's do pretty well. Plus, getting this guy off the base is going to make him a little easier to clean up. So we're going to go over this model. And we're really going to just look for the mold lines. This one's actually not too bad. I see a few little spots, but we can live with it. We can live with it. We're just gonna come in and we're gonna clean up what we can with this. And of course, it's you know, Catalyst's PVC, so it's really clingy as you try to clean it up. It makes little fuzzies that stick all over the surface. And I heard from a community member that acetone works fairly decently, so we're going to come in with a little bit of acetone and try to clean this up in a gentle fashion as well. So get out a paper towel. Get out a paper towel. And we want to make sure this is like just a little tip of it there, you know? Take a little bit of acetone, and I think we're going to work from the cap here. We just want to get the tiniest bit of acetone on there. Just a little bit. And we're going to come in here. We're going to come in, we're going to scrub down those mold lines, and we're going to be really, really, really careful here to not destroy our details. Try to fix this exposure as well. Just want to get in there and give this a good little rubbing. Obviously, Q-tips would be way better here, but we can minimize the look of this mold line here. The spots on the back of the legs here, we're going to come in. We're gonna rub them down. We're just gonna give it a little bit of love, just a little kiss on the surface. We just really want this nice and cleaned up as best we can. These are definitely not the worst mold lines I've seen. Not for a Catalyst model, at least. Now, unfortunately, the injection sites do look really gnarly. So we'll just try to smooth those over. Smooth out any of the cannon areas. Wherever we can get away with just giving it a touch of love. And honestly, this one's pretty good. Surprising. They did a good job of hiding a lot of the mold lines. The fingers do have a mold line right across them, unfortunately. There's that Catalyst quality that I've come to expect. So let's get in here and try to clean up that. I'm really having trouble getting to it, so I think our next step here is to stop the camera and swing it out of the way and get stuck in with the hobby knife, because these are going to be a bitch to clean up. So see if we can't get a better view on what we're doing here. As always, the seasoned experts over at Catalyst have made sure to put those mold lines right across the most delicate details, so they're especially a pain in the ass to remove, as is tradition around Catalyst. We're just gonna get in here and try to give it some love. Now, I think what's really frustrating about these models is if it was styrene, you could come in here and just give it a nice scrape and that would work perfectly fine. Instead, we have to really think about how we're removing each little scrap of the mold line in a very deliberate fashion. This one's hidden decently along this panel line. I think we could leave that. We don't have any across the cockpit. We do have a little bit on the bottom of this barrel, so we're gonna deal with that. A little on the top of the shoulder here. It also runs across a surface greebling detail, so it's pretty gnarly. But I think for the most part we can live with that. We have some on the back of this leg, and the details are really soft back here as well. But we're just gonna have to deal with it. Now, I think one of the worst little bits of details, we have these injection sights on the back of these legs. And I think to get rid of those, we're gonna have to just cut into the model. I'm gonna trim both sides to get it nice and even. I guess a little bit of like Tamiya putty or milliput would probably be the way to fill those in. But we're just gonna work with what we have on hand and get it going. Now, we have all these little fuzzies all over the surface, so we're gonna hit it again with a little bit of acetone. Howdy folks, as mold lines are horrible, the only thing that works for me is a freshly sharpened fine point knife and a lot of patience, or a Dremel power tool, and call it battle damage. That's my buddy actually resorted to exactly that. Just calling it battle damage. But what we're gonna do now, what we're gonna try today, is we're gonna just go in where we removed those mold lines, and we're gonna come in after with an acetone rag, and we're gonna try to just get rid of those surface fuzzies and smooth them out as best we can. And luckily this one isn't the worst model I've seen, so it shouldn't be too bad to remove them. It just, they're so bad. I've speculated in chat rooms on the Country Fried Minis Discord, link in the description down below, that the reason they're so bad is because the company has prioritized ease of casting, ease of production versus surface fidelity. But we're going for a really basic paint job today. We're going to hide most of our crimes with some chipping at the end, so I think we can work with it. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to get dug in with the rest. Can you imagine being a CSO painter and only being allowed to write raving reviews? Oh yeah, yes I can. Only allowed to speak as an ambassador for the brand. That is exactly how it is. Some thick super glue works for the injection points. Oh yuck. I might have to try that after all. I'm gonna take a second and file or sand the bottom of these bases real quick. We just want to be ready for them. We're gonna do a little bit of a wet sand here. But we're gonna get these glued up, and we're gonna hit them with a little primer, and we're gonna get stuck in, and we're gonna see if we can paint these boys in record time. It is a very simple paint job. We're gonna go for like a 2-color dealio with an ink wash and then a little bit of a dry brush over top. And I think furthermore what we're gonna do with these models here, they're gonna get scanned into the tabletop simulator module so everybody can play with them. But when the video releases, I think we're gonna put this model up for sale on eBay, and we'll start the listing at the price I paid for it. So So if you want to get your hands on something painted by me without buying a commission, check that out once it's posted. I'll do a post about it. Also, let me know in the chat if that camera feed is glitching really bad. I saw it flicker for a second, but it might have just been a one-off. Okay, so we will, however, take a moment to glue together this here Locust Labs 3D print. If you'd like a copy of this model, it's available on my eBay store. I believe the link is available down below. But let's get us a guest palette. Now I need this one to be a little more family friendly. And we're doing like a light horse theme. So I'm hoping we have like a Ponyta or a Rapidash in here somewhere that we can use. Surely one of the horses is in here. I am kind of surprised there's not one. Let's check the other packet. Maybe we'll luck out and get like a I don't know, a pony girl or something. Looks fine for me, but my signal is enhanced by an conjuration wizard in my... Oh yeah, because Skyrim. Yes, that makes perfect sense. It checks out. Let's check this other bag here. I'm really hoping we have a pony reference here for the video. Gotta be one, right? Gotta be. Surely. Ponyta or Rapidash. That's what we're after. Or one of the other, like, horse things. Ah, that licky tongue. I like a licky tongue. We could maybe use the Ditto. That is an option. Multiple Charmanders in here. Shiny Dratini. Lapras is almost a horse, right? Almost a pony. I think we can get away with Lapras. I doubt there's like something equestrian related in here that would be acceptable. I think most of these would be too much, and I don't really want to put them in because it's going to go to a collaborator. We're going to put the same footage together on both channels, and I don't want to be risking two channels with these outrageous stickers. Yeah. We're just going to skip that. Lapras is a seahorse, at least in red blue you can write. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That is kind of what I was thinking. And that's what we're going to do. So, when you get a quick piece of footage of putting out the guest palette, putting some glue on it, and gluing this down, and then we'll glue together the Locust Labs model off camera. And with that, we can get to spraying. We're going to prime white. We're going to hit with some very base colors. Just get a nice perfunctory desert, like I think it's like a desert scrubland type camo pattern. A little bit of green, a little bit of tan. I wonder why this won't let me automatic those. There we go. Autofocus is on. White balance is on. There we go. Let's run this. So we show to the camera our Lapras. We give it a second because we do the zoom in on it. We just chill there for a minute. Draw a wee on Lapras. I can't this time. This is gonna go on another channel. So I have to be reserved. I have to be reasonable. There'll be no penis jokes, but there will be a pony joke in there somewhere. Probably a jar joke. And we'll put it at the end of the video so that my collaborator can choose to leave it out, but we'll pack in some penis on our end, naturally. So we got our new base. We're gonna try to find a good position for our little assassin. I think that's pretty good there. So we're gonna come in and just put a fair amount on kind of the front of this foot and then kind of on the back of that foot. And we're going to get him placed down. That looks good to me. We're going to take our BSI Insta set. We're going to come in and we're going to do 2 little droppy doos, hopefully without nudging the model. Excellent. And we're going to thank our Lapras. And we're going to take it away. And then I'm going to stop filming. Because now we need to assemble this Locust Labs piece. Then edit a cucumber on it as a 5th limb. I might try to work it in somehow. I don't want to detract from the fun, but you know how that goes. When you're working with people, you gotta pretend to be professional. All right. So, I think what we're gonna do here, we're gonna assemble our awesome, and this is I think it's the 8T is the name of the variant. It's got the twin LRM-15s, 1 PPC, and a large laser. So we're gonna get this thing going. Again, this is available on my eBay store. If you want to get your hands on some Locust Labs minis. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, check it out. I sell these in large bundles where you get all the options for a pretty reasonable price. Between like 20 and 35, depending on how many models. And now we need to pick up our arms. I think we're gonna go this one, and that one. Get this boy put together. We need the PPC on the right arm. Too much. PPC on the right arm. So let's get that in there. Kind of a thicker barrel end. Edit a cucumber. Edit a cucumber. And oh my, the camera is just flickering like crazy now, ain't it? God damn it. I tell y'all, dude, every time I turn this computer off and then boot it back up again, this camera starts glitching out. It's really, really cool that I have to do this. I love it so much, don't you know? So I'm gonna hop down and do that real quick. Let's unplug you. Plug it back in. And now we come in here. And we deactivate and reactivate. And it works again. Hopefully, at least. All right. Next, let's get a little glue on this arm here. I kind of want this gun aiming forward. Like that looks good to me. Let's lock it in place. We'll do the same on the other side. So, you know, I think we maybe need another drop of glue. And I figured 2 mechs is right. We'll focus on painting one, but we'll have the other one to switch over to. Alright, now I think we want the large laser arm kind of down. Like that. That looks like a good pose to me. Very nice. And now we want to figure out how it's going to be standing on the base. That actually seems almost stable. Oh, that's really right there. That feels really sturdy. So we're going to go with it. Spread a whole bunch of glue on them bases. Footsies. Get it going on rightly. I think it's about as good as we're gonna get, honestly. I should have maybe got the Dremel out. I keep waiting on the delay between stream and Discord. I'm constantly surprised at the instancy. Interesting. I think that there's some fun stuff happening with the because I'm not broadcasting from this computer here. I think that the network device interface is actually faster than trying to like encode it and send it to the stream, and then it's bouncing to the other computer over there, which then is broadcasting. But I digress. I think we're ready to start digging in on an actual paint job. And we maybe need to get out our spray booth here. You know, because this isn't Discord. Yes. Howdy, folks. Welcome, Frankie. Hope you're doing well. We're going to be doing a pretty simple paint up today in a happy little camo paint scheme. Working on our Assassin in the 2nd Canopian Light Horse. They are canonically painted in operational camo, and it's a great excuse for me to paint up a camo scheme I did for a commission sometime back that I really liked. And we also have a Locust Labs Awesome to accompany it in between layers, just to make sure we have something to constantly be painting on. I don't think I have any other mechs that are just handy and ready to go, so we're just going to work with the 2. and we're gonna film painting the Assassin and try to fast track this and get a video out in the next few days. Probably be about a 10-minute painting segment from myself, and then a 10-minute or so painting segment from my collaborator. More info about that soon. Alright, so I think my airbrush is in good order from the last batch of painting. I need to clean the tip of the needle, but this should still be alright. I think that my airbrush experience is a really good indicator that though you need to clean your airbrush, it doesn't need to be perfectly clean.
Alright, I do think that I want to get a shot of myself with the PPE on. So I'm going to do that really quick. And do like... How do I flip this around? Video. Flip this around. Let's do this right here. That looks good. We're gonna go with Pro Video, and let's get a filming. How about a shot of the PP as well? My apron's in the way. I could have done like a wide pan shot, honestly, but that's all right. Okay, before we get stuck in here, I do need to get the compressor turned on, get it ready, and I need to clean up a little bit right here. And we're just going to spray a nice light coat of white primer all over this thing. Do a few passes. Get it going. Alright, get this needle clean. I think we're going to blast a little bit of acetone through our airbrush real quick. So let's put just a bit in the cup. And I think we're just going to kind of do the thing. I think that's fine. That should be all right. And we can get going here. That set up. All right. Let's film, y'all. Let's film. Let's prime. It's prime time. And I know I do this in every damn stream, but I kind of want to prove that it's quick and easy. It can be done. So, I'm going to show our Stynylrez to the camera. We're going to pull our airbrush over. We're going to struggle to open the damn thing. But I'm going to fill that cup. We're going to come in with our air hose. And we're going to get our little boy. And we're just going to start hitting it with a little bit of that Stynylrez. Now, something I learned recently is that this primer is meant to be shot out of an airbrush at high pressure. So I think if you're spraying it out of airbrushes at like a normal, reasonable pressure, you're probably going to need to thin it a little bit with some airbrush thinner. But I just spray mine straight through, and I'm using 40 psi on my airbrush, on my compressor. So pretty high pressure. Way higher than I think most fine spray mini application would be going. But I have decent results. It does tend to clog up a little bit on my account, or on my setup. But I think that's largely because it's a... I bought my primer online, and I believe it has sat on a shelf for a really long time and needs to be hella strained out, which I have not done. So I have to blast a clog through it every now and then. But you can see surely that with gentle passes in small amounts, we can build up a white primer coat that is basically already dry and ready to go quite swiftly through our happy little airbrush. I think that looks good to me. I'm pleased. It was all of 2 minutes for that. So we're going to work fast today. We're going to work as quickly as possible today. I'm going to come in and let's do the same treatment for our awesome. And the whole time I'm maintaining constant air pressure, and I'm doing very gentle little tugs. I'm never cranking down on it. I'm keeping the flow very reserved with air coming through, and anytime I get a clog, I can immediately come over to my hand and blast it through. The only time I'm pulling all the way back on the trigger. Just want to keep it very, very controlled. I use 300 psi to blast an unthin crayon through my airbrush. Perfect coverage in one coat. That's fun. Oh my god. I'm picturing like a potato cannon, neck down to fit a crayon. Holy shit. 300 psi. Do you think 300 psi would actually blast a crayon through? I think it might. Holy shit, an unthinned crayon. I am kind of picturing an airbrush situation with like you melt down the you melt the crayon down to liquid state and then shoot it through the airbrush. Would that work? Could you blast crayon through a fucking airbrush? Fucking crayons. I'm just like, I'm speechless at that, dude. Just like a hot glue gun, just glooping it on. Fuck yeah, dude. Come on. I do have a bad clog going on here. it gonna work? Give it one of these, right? Nope. It's hella clogged. It's a really bad clog. See if we can get enough out of it to just keep moving for a second. I can see chunks coming out of the fucking end of it. And this is what I mean, like, this airbrush, this paint needs to be run through a very fine mesh strainer. Holy shit, this is a really bad clog. Alright. Now comes the fun part of airbrushing, where everything comes to a screeching fucking halt because of a clog. Beautiful. Let's take that fucking tip off. Let's take that tip off and clean it out, because it is hella clogged. Awesome. It's what I get for dare claiming to enjoy airbrushing, if you guys can imagine. Alright, so we're gonna take our needle and we're gonna fucking jam that bitch up in there. Yeah, that's a hellacious clog there. Yes, sir, it is. Look at that disgusting lump. You absolute fucker, you. Alright, I think that's got it. Let's try to shoot a little more paint through it. And we're going to get back to actually painting. Cleaning a clog in the middle of an airbrush session? Welcome to airbrushing, folks. Yeah, I get about a 50-50. Half the time it goes really smooth, and I'm like, look, you don't need to keep it super clean. And the other half the time, it's like, oh, my paint is clogged out of the bottle. Alright, let's see. Hey, there we go. Let's do another pass across our assassin. I just want a nice, really smooth bit of coverage on it. Try not to soak it. Like it's got a little bit of a shininess to it. It's already more primer than I'd like on it, so I'm going to stop. And we're going to do the same thing across our awesome here. Just give it a little bit of love. Do one more squirt down its back, and then we'll be good on that. I don't think much, just a few mils. Let's give it, yeah, there we go, cool. Is it snack time? Alright, so we'll come in here, we'll take our crook neck squirt bottle, we'll blast some paint out of it. We're going to come back, and we're going to shoot that water through it. And now I'm going to take a little acetone. Now, some people have mentioned this before, that this can be problematic if you have internal O-rings. The assembly of this airbrush is not made with internal O-rings in the front and back, so it's okay to use it. I don't want to come across like I'm giving inaccurate advice in cleaning the airbrush. All right, there we go. Now, I like to pull the needle out and have it sitting there for future uses, instead of in the airbrush creating dry needle tip. All right, put our spray out pot back here, put our needle right next to it.
And we're ready to actually start painting now. If y'all can imagine, we're an hour in, and we're actually going to start putting paint on models. I think that's, if not a record, it's close to one around here. People say that all the time. I shoot lacquer through my airbrushes all the time, no problems. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think there's some concerns about doing like a deep clean with acetone if you have that Teflon ring inside. But this little Patriot, this Badger Arrow, has been really good. The only thing I didn't like about it is, well, two factors, and they're both related to the cup. The cup is really small, so it doesn't hold a lot of paint, and it's also not removable. So it's actually a gigantic pain in the ass to clean. So I do as little cleaning as I can get away with. Acetone is the thinner for lacquer. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Really good at it. Ah, yes. Okay, so let's see. Can we see mold lines now? We have some here. I think we did a really good job of cleaning it up on the back here. The knuckles are decently cleaned up. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Though I do want to point out, let me get a little pointing device here so I can trace what's going on. We have a mold line that runs, it goes across this detail, marring the panel line, across this panel, marring the panel on 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. It mars the panel line. It runs down the corner of this one, which isn't too bad, but then it cuts across this small little detail, destroying the detail, going in this divot, destroying that detail, going across this raised area, destroying that, back up the other side, and then all the way around this. It's like this fucking mold line traces every single detail on this pelvis. There's zero consideration given to maintaining the detail, the fidelity of the model. Come on, Catalyst. I just want your models in like high quality prints. High quality prints, high quality casts. Just, this is unacceptable for miniatures. This is like a toy. This is cast to the quality that I would expect from like a high-end board game toy, but not a miniature. Okay. Anyhow, that's enough bitching. I think what we're going to do, we're going to hydrate our wet palette. We're going to think about our colors. Well, we can think about our colors now, actually. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at what we got. I think we're going to go with, how about buff? We're going to do buff, and I think we're going to go with a refractive green, maybe? We do a refractive green, or we can do, I got 2 bottles of refractive green. We could potentially do, where's it at? I have a Russian uniform camo color. Uniform green. Where's it at? Russian uniform World War II. I think we might go for the Russian uniform. I think that's really fun. Buff and Russian uniform World War II. We'll do those. And then we're going to do Nuln Oil. We'll do a little bit of Agrax Earthshade. We'll do a little bit of Duraluminum, I think. We'll do duraluminum, and then we'll do... Do we do green cockpits or do we do red cockpits? Yeah, I'd pay Catalyst for high quality STL over the convenience of the PVC package minis. I'd pay them $50 for one of their STLs, to be honest. Not even an exaggeration. Do we do red? Do we do red or green, folks? You let me know. I'm gonna get both options down. We can do either or. And then I think we want like a light tannish color for the dry brush. We could maybe actually do our yellow ochre here and then buff for the highlight tone. Yeah, I think that sounds really good to me. In the meantime, I'm going to get ready to film this, and you guys let me know. You guys let me know what you think. We're either going to do a Mephiston red cockpit, or we're going to go with a Warboss green as our base. And either one's going to look really great. We'll go with a super dark black base, and we'll build into the color. We'll highlight it up with a crescent, and we'll do a little dot of white ink. So you guys got till I've arrayed these paints to make a decision. If you want to influence it. In the meantime, let's get these shook up so the tops look like they're actually set up correctly. Yellow ochre, we'll do buff. We'll have our two washes there. We'll have a little bit of black. Have a little bit of white. And then we're going green. We're going green. If one of y'all had made a decision, my chat is not updating, so I've made the decision for y'all. We're gonna go with, where's my moot green? Where the heck is my moot green? I don't see it. That's not it. I got moot green around here somewhere. I got no idea what I did with it. I probably was fiddling with it while talking to someone in chat. You asked them to spend $250,000 on a multi-slide collapsing metal mold, even at Chinese pricing. That would cost them as much to run the machine as you paid for that scalper model. Yeah. But I mean, I'd happily pay that if it was like actually quality minis. Or, you know, they could work with someone like Ironwind Metals and make more of their models available from like an expert producer. My moot green is missing, y'all. I have no idea what happened to it. It does not appear to be on my desk either, and I was just playing with it. I was just playing with that color 2 days ago. It's on your skink Starseer. Borrow some from him. I can't take it off him. It doesn't work like that. It is gone though, which leads me to believe that that paint is floating around this room in a weird spot. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. That's fine. We'll use the phalanx yellow as our mixing color. I know I have some moot green. I'm wondering if it like I've either wandered off with it, or I've done. It might have dried out and I threw it away. But that's fine. We can work with this. We'll use our yellow for our missile tips. Actually, I think these are just holes, so we don't have to worry about it. And then we'll use green for the medium laser anyways. Perfect. Yeah, here we go. We'll array our colors. We'll do a quick shot of all of them. And then we'll get to painting. $109, not too bad. Pro video. We're going to come in, we're going to show all the colors, and we're going to pan across to show all of it. Give it one of those. Pow, stop that. All right. Let's actually get OniLab plugged in. We're going to dig in. Dig in, shake up some paints. Show y'all how a nice two-tone camo scheme will go. Be real simple, real fun project here. Make a little room, and we will get going. Need this. Get a new sheet. All right. Hope y'all are out there having a fun day yourself, whether you're working, taking a sick day, doing some hobbying, whatever you got going on. Hope it's swell. Today we're working at Hobby. All right, we're going to mount our camera, and we're going to come in and film hydrating this wet palette. Get our water bottle. We just want to get this nice and saturated down. I have the box fan running, so this needs to be pretty wet today, because it's going to dry out fairly quickly. Oh, come on now. Get our parchment sheet. Get it laid down. Hold the corners till it relaxes. Should take just a second. There we go. All right. We're going to take our yellow ochre now. That's going to be our base tone. Give it a good shake. Down. We're going to come in. We're going to put a fair amount of this stuff out. Like that. Good amount. And we're going to take some clean water with our pipette. We're going to put, I don't know, 4 drops in there. We'll take our 6 brush for mixing. Give this a nice stir. And we can go ahead and use this same brush for base coating, I think. We just want a nice all over coat. We're not going for a thick coat. Wet the air, 58% moist. I bet that's about right. It's not super dry today, but it is a little bit a little bit dried out because of the moving air blowing across me. But it was, you know, it's warm again in my apartment today, so the box fan was welcome. Alright, so we're just going to come in here and kind of attack this model with our yellow ochre all over. Just get it good coverage. Use our big brush to make it easy. Who's popping? Ah, yes. I love Popcat. Popcat is love. I want a Popcat. I'm gonna Popcat. Redeem Popcat. I think my phone is still trying to touch here to save. Yeah, add to dictionary. There we go. I figured out how to add it to the dictionary, Mr. Nate. The BlackBerry UI does not have a checkbox, but if you type it in and then click the word in the middle, it allows you to save it to the dictionary. And maybe now it'll stop trying to get me to say podcast. Dude, Nightbot timed that really well. Alright. I just want to hit this all over. Give it some good coating. I kind of want to film this whole thing. And then I think on our video we can speed it up and show the whole thing. Go for a really, really perfunctory, quick and dirty paint job here. Talking about ink washes, talking about dry brushing, talking about the freedom of painting. What's the term I'm looking for? Illusory patterns that don't follow panel lines. How the panel lines of the model are kind of secondary to the tail, and we'll just pick them out with our washes. Alright, that's good enough. My camera just absolutely will not focus on it. Okay. We'll take this boy and we're going to let him dry for a bit while we put some paint on our awesome as well. Beat synced time lapse? Yeah, that'd be really fun. Something like that. We want to kind of tell the tale quickly. Because, well, I think those of y'all who know about the collaborator knows kind of the style that we're going to be going for. Now, I do need to be careful about the music. Because I don't think my collaborator has a license for Epidemic Sound. So I'll be on the lookout for some proper royalty-free stuff. Take a peek on it. Try not to introduce too many bubbles here. I have made the paint a little bit frothy in the tip of my brush. So we're gonna try to reduce that a little bit. I may have over-thinned it just a bit. That's fine. We're gonna be doing 2 coats anyways. Now these bubbles are a little bit problematic. I don't want them in the finish. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to switch to a different brush. I've just introduced so much with this big puffy brush. We can come down to a... How about this 4? I think that'll do the trick. Have Tech make you some Muzak? Yeah, I could get down on that. Oh, this is just as bubbly. This paint has hit like a like a really shitty frothy point. It is just bubbling up hardcore. I wonder if I could just put another drop of paint in it. It needs to be My Little Pony flavored music, cute and uplifting. I want to split the difference between My Little Pony and like classic BattleTech video game. If any of y'all out there have ideas, make sure to share. Shoot them to me via direct message or on the Country Fried Minis community contributions or in the comments down below. Whatever works for you, I will get the message either way. It needs to be royalty free, whatever you suggest. Normally I'd just go with what's on offer at Epidemic Sound. But in this case, I need to think of my collaborator and not get their ad revenue split between themselves and Epidemic Sound. Okay, so we just want a nice all over happy coat of this yellowy ochre, yellow ochre color. Keep attacking the surface. Get that first pass down. We'll mix up a little bit more here in a bit and then hit the Assassin with our second coat. Do the whole 2 thin coats thing. You can definitely get some hard 90s techno with the right flavor. Maybe. I'm not going to discount it, but my initial gut instinct is to say no to techno. You'll have to sell me on it. You have to sell me on it, Mr. Nate. I'm going to put another drop of paint in you. You keep talking like that. I don't know about in me. You put a drop of paint on me. I've tried to eliminate as much brush licking as possible. I keep ingesting small amounts of solvent, and it's like not good. Alright, just about done with a single pass over this lad. Just about there. This yellow ochre is interesting. There's a paint scheme in MechWarrior 4 that I think this color would have been really good for. It's like a yellowy tan like this, and then it's got red stripes on it. I think that would have looked awesome. I don't know how far our Agrex Earthshade is going to bring this down, but we shall see. Alright, that looks decent. I don't see too many holes in the paint to warrant, well, I started to say to warrant spending extra time on it, but we'll just hit those spots now. It's a fabulous sculpt. Locust Labs, everybody. If you want Locust Labs models and you don't have access to a 3D printer, check it out on eBay. I'm Country Fried Minis over on eBay. Maybe that weird British dubstep before they banned smoking in the clubs. House only house. I don't know. Maybe. I'm open to all of it. I'm not just going to blanket say no. Alright, let's get out a little bit more of our Ochre Amarillo. We're going to do a second pass. It's a little thinner this time, but I think I managed to do it without introducing a ton of bubbles. We just want to hit it one more time. All over. Try not to get too many bubbles on it. I apologize if blowing on that model is sending air into the mic. It just seems like a really effective way to deal with those little tiny surface bubbles all over this boy. Basically, the process here, we're going to hit this yellowy color. We're going to come back with our green stripes. We're going to dry brush the whole thing with buff. And then we'll go back and we'll fill in our metallics. And hit the metallics with Nuln Oil. We might do the Agrex Earthshade wash before the dry brush. I'm not sure yet. I think that's the intention. Just want to get some good coverage. Want to avoid having any little patches without color on them. As best we can manage. Doesn't need to be perfect. Good enough will be good enough. And that is our bent. This project. I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's do another pass on our awesome. We still have some wet spots. So we're going to start on the legs, which look nice and dry. And we'll work our way up. Hopefully the torso and top will be dry enough to take another layer of paint by the time we get up there. That's what I've really got my fingers crossed for. I'm also hoping that these little bubbles in the paint don't find their way into the final finish of this model, since we're painting in a hurry. I'm kind of trying to do a bit of a speed paint here. Another pass on the back. It's so foamy. It's outrageously foamy. It does look like it's stabilizing though, which is good. Alright, just about done with this color. I could maybe get the hairdryer, but I don't think that would allow enough time for the foamy bubbles to pop. Alright. I think that is good. Nope, I see a little bit of white right there. Just looking for holes in the color. Give it a nice little once over. Looks okay. Looks okay to me. Foamy the squirrel was pretty outrageous. Wait, it's Foamy the squirrel. Is it because Foamy has rabies? All right. So once again, we're going to kind of hide the awesome off to the side a little bit. We're going to come back in with another filming section. Same deal. Set up the camera. Show the color to the camera. Run it through OniLab. I'm going to go with this Russian uniform World War II. Run it through OniLab. Get a nice puddle going here. Come in with a few drops of water. Mix it up. And then I think we want a smaller brush for this. And this is the really fun part of painting camo right here. We're going to come in and we're just going to make decisions. We're going to pick and choose where that paint is going to go. I'm going to use a bit of a smaller brush. I think we're going to go with this here. I think it's a 1. Yeah. We're going to come in, we're going to show the 1 to the camera. We're going to grab our little friend here. And we're just going to put a streak on it. Boom. Run it. Bow. If it looks good, keep pushing it. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't. Just roll with it. You make a decision. If you screw up, you learn the lesson for next time. We do not need perfection here. We're just going for kind of a pattern that is vaguely kind of caution stripey-ish. Moving in about the same direction. We want to break up that silhouette. That's it. That's all we're doing here. Make our decision. Roll with it. Run it. Pow. I guess we don't want to blob it as much as I just did. Let me think a little bit about the way the paint wraps around. We're not too worried about it. If you're having trouble like linking the stripes together, you can just make them stop. That is always an option as well. Just pick a good spot for it. We just want to get the foundational layers of this shit on, and then we can think about how we clean it up once we get them applied. And that looks pretty good to me, honestly. We'll come back in with some cleanup on the edges after we let that dry for a moment. That's really it. I think the toughest part about camo is deciding. And I really think the trick to it is just doing it. If you're thinking about it, it's too much thought. Just hit it, move the brush, get the color on it, worry about cleaning up the edges afterwards. Just put the color down, make the decision, don't get paralyzed by choice. Because I think that the human tendency is to like seek out patterns and to be able to spot patterns, and as an extension you kind of want to create patterns, and you want that touch of order to what you're doing. Because it's camo, we want to avoid that. We want to do the opposite of create a pattern. We want to break that silhouette. We want to create confusion. Plus, you can always start with like small marks that get bigger as you try to make them work with the model. We're gonna add more, so just hit it, run it, make it do its thing, you know? Come on now. All right. Come back in with a little bit across the arm. All the stripes don't have to be perfect, you know. They can do twists and turns. Just really important to get some of it on there. All right. So I think that's a decent foundation. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go back across both of these models one more time and refine the edges. And I actually think I want to film this. So we're going to get back out the camera and maybe find a moment in the video to talk about refining those edges. And I gotta admit, y'all, I am broken tired at this moment. So I don't know how much further we're gonna make it, but I want to try to get something significant, at least into like the ink washing and stuff. But I can feel myself going down to count soon. Kind of thinking here that once we kind of clean up these edges, we'll clean up the edges of our rough paint, and then we're going to pick some spots and do little tiny splotches. Just first, anything that's kind of rough looking, any edges that are kind of ragged, I'm gonna clean them up. And looks smooth. Anywhere the color is really light, the coverage kind of sucks. Any of that stuff, taking care of it, meow. That looks decent. And so now we're going to come back in. We're going to do smaller patches. Oops, shit. Do small patches, kind of in between the other colors. Here and there. We don't want to be regular about it. A little bit here, a little bit there. Pick out some. You find an area on the mech that looks like it could use a little love. Just come in with a little bit of green. Add it on there. Don't think, just do. That's almost about all we could pack on this dang thing. You don't got a lot of surface area. A little on the hand, maybe. I think I've been out of frame that whole time, too. It looks good to me. It's about all we can get. We'll clean it up with the dry brush. All right. Let me stop filming for a second. Coming back in on the awesome. And this is the same deal. We're going to clean up our ragged edges. Kind of give like it's like a wavy quality we want to kind of impart to our stripes. Almost like a flowy, organic kind of color, kind of flow to it. Avoiding any kind of straight lines, you know? A little bit here, a little bit there. I see a few spots that are kind of thin. I got little spots where like fingers are sticking off the stripes. I don't really want that type of patterning. It's more about these big, broad, smooth bands. Kind of interesting, I think, that this Russian uniform World War II color is so desaturated. It's got a fun contrast next to this yellowy tone. I definitely didn't go so yellow before. It was more of a tannish, almost like a bleached bone kind of color. But I think our wash is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for this one. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Legs are looking good. Let's put a little bit on the arms. Just everywhere we get those like ragged edges from our paintbrush, we're gonna clean it up. Any thin coverage, we're also gonna clean it up. I think that's looking decent. Now we're going to look for spots that want little splotches. Like right here. I think that's calling for a little splotch like that. This shin right here, it wants a little splotch. Some weak coverage here and there. I think his crotch needs a little splotch across it. Where else? Clean up that arm a little bit more. But I think that's starting to look really good. maybe want a small splotch right here. But I think that's pretty good on this guy. It looks decent to me. We got stripes that break up the pattern, and we've got this like kind of cartoony feel to it right now because there's no shading, there's no detail in it. But we're gonna clean that up immediately with a nice ink wash. And I think that when we're gonna hit this with the Agrex Earthshade, it's gonna add so much to it. Oh look, chat is dead again. Why you do this, YouTube? It erased all the messages for me. Alright. So, from here, we want to dig into our Agrex Earthshade. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to show it to the camera. We're going to pour a little bit on the palette. And we're just going to saturate this boy. And hopefully by the time we're done washing this guy and going into the next one, that it'll be dry enough to work on. If not, I don't know how much downtime we can handle today. I know I'm in need of intense and immediate intense entertainment today, because I am fading so hard. Alright. So, same deal. Show it to the camera. Pull out our Agrex Earthshade. I don't think we actually need to shake it, because it is an ink wash after all. We're going to pour out a nice little puddle on our palette. And we're going to go back to our number 4 brush from earlier. And you grab our boy. And we're just going to go to town with that Agrex Earthshade. I want it dark. I want it really dark. I want that pooling. I want that saturation. I want to hit this model and bring all those colors down really, really intense. Like, people say to not do this, which will avoid a little bit of the like excess. We'll lift some of it off, but we do want to bring this model down. We want to darken it up. We want all those crevices intensely brown. We want all the surfaces stained real dark. I mean, obviously we can assess it as we go, but this is the magic step. We're gonna pick out the rest with dry brushing, and then maybe a little bit of edge highlighting. I don't know how much of that we'll do, but the thing is, we want this brown and not yellow. Which is kind of why we've gone with such a bright base color. We're going to trust in the power of liquid talent to make our colors unified and not so cartoony colored. Alright, I think now what we can do, instead of dipping it more, we're going to spread what's on the model around to fill any weak spots. That looks pretty good. We got some heavy pooling up here. I think we can wick away a little bit of that. Anywhere we see obvious missing ink, just want to spread some to it. I think that looks pretty good, honestly. And that should dry out pretty quick. Nice and brown. I'm going to handle me some downtime real soon. Wait. Stream hands above the table. All right, we're gonna give this awesome the same love. Same deal. I think we'll start from the top and start moving downwards. Should be just enough to work with here. Again, tonight's painting is about maybe not speed, but definitely efficiency, and a very much like a good enough is good enough type level of painting. I want this to be low effort, kind of idiot proof. If you can manage decently solid coverage with your models, with your paintbrush, if you can control your brush, this is super simple. And it looks really good in the end for the amount of effort that goes into it. Obviously you can really elevate it, right? You could come in, you could edge highlight all these colors. You could edge it. You could spend multiple hours gooning out over your model, painstakingly putting a little bit of work on every little crevice, every nook and cranny, every raised edge. But you could also trust in the liquid talent in the Games Workshop ink wash to do so much of the heavy lifting for you. No, it doesn't have to be GW. I think you can get away with like strong tone, one of those army painter colors. Good enough as all the CGL models deserve anyway. I agree. It'd be different if their details weren't so soft and that the mold lines weren't so impossible to clean. Okay, we're just about done hitting this boy. Hitting our awesome with the brown. Now, I do think that the Assassin may not be dry enough to dry brush on yet. Which is going to lead to some downtime. I may have to bust out the hairdryer after all. All right, so here, what we're going to want to do is anywhere that is pooled up where it's like basically black, I'm going to lift a little bit of that excess off. And we're looking for spots that didn't get any ink on them, because those will be really glaring later on. So let's take a second and inspect up and down the legs, around the torso, all that good stuff. Lift up any extra pooling. I think that looks pretty good. Let's double check our Assassin as well. I think that did pretty well. It is still a little too wet, unfortunately. Just put your ink wash models in front of your fan. It's across the room. It's all the way over there. That's how the models themselves are made. Yeah, they definitely are good enough is good enough. Yeah, I think I need to grab the hairdryer real quick. Let me go grab that. It's just right there in the bathroom. and leave it hanging up on a hook. Be right back. Telling you, I could end right now, but I want to get at least perfunctory level with these models before I call the stream. I'm just really tired. All right. Let's see how bad this is. I don't think it's too bad. I see a spot that didn't get ink. I see a spot that didn't get ink. It's his butt. There we go. A little bit on your booty. We're gonna go on low and just try to dry out that ink wash. We could probably get away with high, honestly. What? My computer went into a screensaver. I just got a cheapo $20 Conair hairdryer. If you ain't got one in your paint collection, invest in one. Well worth it. Well worth it. We'll give this boy a moment. I regret not having a third model. Most important crack to panel line the booty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hit this boy. Oh, that's too loud. High mode was too loud. Just giving these models a little bit of love. Okay. I still see some juicy spots that are going to potentially be problematic. But I think we're just about there. Damn it, I see another spot that needs ink. Right there on top of the leg. Definitely something I worry about in doing these streams with ink washes. That it just turns into literally watching paint dry. I know I can do this. A good booty is a thing of beauty. Are you sure it's not a thing of booty? We could do a test dry brush across our awesome, but like these little juicy spots in the crevices, like when you're dry brushing and your brush picks that up, it'll ruin whatever color you're dry brushing on. And I'm a little worried about that here. I almost feel like ideally we should let this cure and give it some time. And you know, I think we can get away with that. Instead of sitting here worrying about it, because I am really tired, y'all. Gotta say it a bit hillbilly, then it's the same. Yeah, booty booty. Alright, so what we're gonna do today is we're just gonna call the stream, because I really need to lie down anyways. Tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm gonna boot this up at noon. We're gonna dive back in. We have a very short, we'll do another like 2 hours tomorrow and pull the same thing. Basically, we're gonna come in with buff. We're gonna dry brush it with buff. We're gonna come back in with Vallejo acrylic metal color. We're gonna pick out all the metallics. We'll hit that with Nuln Oil. So that'll get a black wash. And then we'll do our cockpit jeweling with Warboss green blended into phalanx yellow, and we'll use the same color on the medium laser for our assassin. And then we'll also do the PPC and large laser for our awesome. And then I think we might pick out these missile tips in yellow. I think that'd look pretty good. Thing is, this is almost ready. This is almost ready to get hit. These little juicy spots in the corners are problematic, and they're going to create an issue. And they need time to dry, so I'm gonna let them dry. And I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna take a couple-hour nap. Catch the Dicks in the Dark tonight. They'll be streaming at 6 p.m. I think. Might actually be 5 p.m. my time, so in 3 hours. Tomorrow's my day off. No, tomorrow is normally my day off, but these need to get done. So we're going to fast track this boy. We're going to get him done. We're going to dig in. We're going to get a video edited and out soon, sometime soon, in the next like 5-6 days, and get it released. I'd love to keep rolling. I think I'm a little too beat for it, so we're going to call it an afternoon at 2 hours. Short stream today. Thank y'all so much for stopping through and checking out what's going on the 100th paint stream. We'll do 101 tomorrow, the part 2 of this paint up, and we'll make it work. Iron Element says I'm going to take an 8-ish hour nap. See you tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to take probably about 3 right now because I'm beat. Anyhow, lots of love. As always, I've been Cameron on behalf of Country Fried Minis. This is the Bullshit Corner 2.0. I want y'all to remember to be happy while you're painting, even if you're dead tired, and to know that your participation here makes me happy while I'm painting, even when I'm dead tired. Anyhow, I gotta lay down. Catch y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye. You got it,
You
Mr.
can
Nate.
work out.
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.